I'm not trying to be anybody else. You know, people see, oh, Beanz writing plays, and I'm gonna do that. That's not for you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
You can't bowl a 300 in another person's lane. Okay?
Right.
So you got the bars today.
Okay, that's a clip right there. That's a clip right there.
So
That's a bar.
Yo, what's good with you? We are back for another episode. It's Nia Queen. I'm happy to be here. Are you happy to be here, Chef Beanz?
I'm very happy to be here. You're not just Nia Queen, yo. You always do that. Nia Queen, the entrepreneur, the host, red carpet host, all that. Kid, honestly, talk about it.
I do a lot. But, you know, I'm here to highlight other people.
Okay.
Today, you know, I am going, you know, talk about myself at the end. But today we got a hood celebrity up in here.
Oh yeah, the guy.
He might be a celebrity actually.
What's his name again? Is it
Butta?
Yeah, that's the guy.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on, man? How you feeling, man?
I'm good, man. How y'all doing? Thank y'all for having me here today. I'm Butta. Create this thing called intentional consumption.
Yeah.
No, man. How y'all doing, man?
Man, we doing good, man. How you feeling today,
I'm amazing.
bro?
I'm happy to, like I said, I'm happy to be here. You know, this is my dog right here. Me and Nia have met a few times, and you know, you're amazing. So continue to be great at what you do.
You're amazing. And I actually knew about you before I even met you, because
little old me.
Yeah. You have this, you know. You do a lot of things. Well, let's just go down the list. You know, this is the founder of Keep It 100. You know, he also do a little acting on the side.
I'm a thespian.
Mm-hmm. He's a community leader, an entrepreneur, and he said his most important job is being a father.
Yes, a master's dad.
Yes, that is so amazing. But yeah, I heard about you before. You know, when I first moved to Inglewood, and it was a lot of people.
Wait. Let me cut you off. You heard about me, but you still never came to run. So what's up with that? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Dang, not being put on the spot.
I mean, I'm just saying.
So you moved to Inglewood.
You know, I'm gonna get to one.
Okay,
I'm gonna get to one. For sure. You know, I don't really have a love relationship with running. You know. But I'm gonna get there. Sure. I'm gonna get there. Get there. Running is not. You know, once it get past a mile, I'm like. You know,
we could get into that,
right? Yeah, you know, maybe I need a good trainer like you to help me, you know, get on the right track. Get on the right track. But I want to ask you guys, how was your week this week? How are you guys feeling?
You go first.
Yeah, I'll go first. My week has been pretty good. A lot of things all over the place, but I'm reminding myself to circle back to breathing. Circle back to understanding that things will happen the way that they're supposed to. I always have a lot of different goals on my to-do list, and that's a gift and a curse, because sometimes you can feel like, damn, I didn't hit that at the right time or X, Y, and Z, but I'm reminding myself that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. So that was like the highs and the lows in my week.
For sure.
What about
Glad
you?
You had a great week.
Yes.
My week was amazing. I've had my daughter all week. She's been on spring break, so it was very important for me to make her spring break a good one. You know, we had an activity. We did an activity every day, and like I said earlier, like fatherhood is the most amazing thing that I've ever done. So you know, a lot of parents, we've been talking this week, and some get kind of riled up and like, oh my God, these kids are getting on my nerves. But like, this is their week off, so it's like give them something to do. Like getting outside is free. Go to the beach. Go to the library.
Right.
Like I took my daughter to get her first library card this weekend, like because she loves to read. So like the look on her face when we walked into this library and she see all these books and she's able to get them for free, like those are moments that I can't even, you know, put into words. Really,
right?
Like,
Priceless.
Yeah, they're very priceless. And you know, we did a picnic in the park, like just very simple things. We got Chipotle and went to go sit out on the grass and eat, and she enjoyed all that.
Right.
So like just spending that time with her all week. All week. I see my daughter every day, but having her for this amount of time, you know, isn't the norm. But, you know, so I loved it. She's she's everything, and it just makes me happy to just be able to just do things like that with her. So she made my week amazing.
That's great. My week, I'm here. I'm glad to be here, and it may not have been the best, but I am making it through. I'm finding ways to cope with everything that's going on, and I'm just happy to be here with y'all because I consider this part of my therapy because I'm able to talk about the issues that's going on with my life and just be supported by people in my community. So yeah, I'm doing all right. Doing all right, So we have a lot to get into today. We have a lot to get into today.
Because like I was saying, this is the What's Good With You podcast where we specialize and emphasize on mental health primarily in the Black community. And there's a lot of different ways for people to engage in mental health. When people first hear about mental health, they automatically think therapy. And when it comes to therapy, people think, oh, I'm not crazy. I don't need therapy. Or they think it's only one way to heal, and that's sitting in a chair with your feet up and someone asking you questions. But there's a lot of ways for people to hug themselves inside out. And that's exactly what we're about to get into because you have a lot of different things that you created where people can hug themselves in ways that they couldn't even imagine.
Definitely.
Can we first say congratulations on 4 years of Keep It 100?
Yes,
Can we give a hand clap for that? Because
absolutely.
That's an amazing milestone. And what inspired you to start Keep It 100?
Honestly, so I didn't grow up running. I just started running when I had my daughter, and I tell this story on every podcast I do. My daughter, she's 8, so for all the fathers out there, you pick up some dad weight. You tend to lot, especially I was athletic my whole life, so like to pick up the weight and look a way that I wasn't used to looking. I had to change that. Mm-hmm. So I just started running. It was a very it was just like a thing I did a few miles, 2 or 3 miles here. Then one day a friend of mine told me that I was going to run a marathon in 2017. So I told him it was crazy. Like, you're out of your mind. I'm never going to run that long. 26.2 was unimaginable for me. So to train for that, we ended up training, and then in March 2018, I ran the marathon. That's the day I fell in love with running. During that time, I was documenting what I was doing on Instagram and Twitter and things like that, and friends would be like, oh, I want to run with you, but and nobody ever show up. So I tweeted one day, if I started a run club, would you come out? It took off a little bit on Instagram, and people ended up, like, the first week I had 8 people come out. That was good for me. Like, I just wanted to get my friends active and moving. I didn't have a structure of what a run club looked like. There was no blueprint. Right. I just wanted my friends to just join me because this is something that I would do anyway. So it's just like spending time with your homies. Like, people always see each other, be like, let's go get drinks. So let's go work out. Let's do something to better ourselves instead of tearing ourselves down. So we started running, and week after week, more and more people started coming. And then it turned into like, oh, you got to get licensing and this and that and trademarking and blah. And here we are 4 years later, and it's been amazing. Like, I wouldn't trade it for the world. Like, it's really something that I genuinely love. It's my passion. Mm-hmm. I really feel like this is what I was put here to do. So,
wow, that's amazing. And I wanted to ask you, I know you see now like the impact that it has on other people, but when you first started it, what impact did it have on you?
Pushing past, like I said, the barriers, like the mental barriers of like, I'm never going to run 5 miles. So when I run 5 and then I run 10, it's like, oh, I could keep going.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And then 15, et cetera, et cetera. You just continue to get better. Repetition and consistency, all you can do is get better at something. So when I ran the marathon, I had a point where it was just like, you hit a wall and it's like, I'm about to go home. Like, this is stupid. This is dumb.
Which mile was it for you?
Mile 20. I'll never forget.
Okay.
Right by Westwood Rec. It was like right under the freeway overpass. There was a porta potty. I went in the porta potty. I had a talk with myself. And I was like, yo, I'm about to go home. I don't know I'm going to get there, but like, this is not going, I'm not going to finish. Mm-hmm. But then my father instinct kicked in, and I'm like, my daughter's never going to see me fail because she was at the finish. Wow. So if I have to crawl across the finish line, mm-hmm. I'm gonna get across the finish line because she has to see me. You know what I'm saying? Do this, and she's
right.
Every LA marathon I've done, she's been there to see me at the finish line, and so being able to, like I said, get past those barriers. And now Beanz, he just recently ran his first LA marathon.
26.2 thing.
26.2.
Which we gonna talk about that.
Right. So it puts it puts me in a mental space of like, can I cuss on here?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, I don't care what other people do, work out, whatever. You can't fuck with me. Okay?
Talk about it. Talk about it.
I'm in a space mentally and just like people will never get to. So just running and just being around supportive people and keeping 100, like these things continue to push me to make me better, and it fulfills my life.
Right.
It's like Beanz. Like I cried last week, in front of everybody, and because I genuinely love what I'm doing. I'm really happy. I wouldn't change it for the world.
That's great. You said something a little earlier about like how how mental health doesn't just have to be sitting in a seat and talking to somebody. So let me get into that.
So you literally just said how this podcast has been therapy for you as well. And I found therapy in different spaces when I moved to LA because I'm not from out here. Everybody know I'm from Jersey. And Keeping 100 was one of those things. Because I kept finding myself in spaces that weren't as genuine as they presented themselves to be. People had their own perception of LA natives. LA is fake. LA is that. And I'm like, I don't know if I 100% believe that. So when I started coming to Keep It 100, I met people who were actually from out here, doing great things, creating community. And I was just like you. What I look like running 2 miles. What I look like. And I remember 2 miles used to whip my ass until I kept doing it. Then I pushed it to 3 miles one day. Then one day I just said, I'm going to follow whoever is coming in first place every day. And I don't know what I was on that day, but that ran 8 miles that day. Remember that day? I was like, wherever she's running, that's what I'm running. And I'm going to be on. So I remember that day just feeling like something unlocked inside of me. And I realized that what unlocked was like the barriers that I placed on myself, the walls that I created in my head. So when it comes to Keep 100 physical activity, that is another aspect of mental health that people don't factor into. Because like Butta was saying, we get into our heads where we're competing against our high school bodies. Right. We competing and we looking at old pictures of ourselves, looking at old videos. I remember when I was able to do that.
Right.
We tear ourselves up.
Sorry to cut you off.
No, you good.
You know what I call that?
What?
Al Bundy memories.
Oh, why you say Al Bundy?
I don't know if y'all used to watch Married with Children, but Al Bundy always had that one story of like when he had that one amazing football game, 3 touchdowns and blah 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 blah. People always kind of like still trying to live off of that. Like, we're 30 plus.
Damn,
now.
Homie, in high school you was the man, homie.
What are you doing now?
Right,
you know what I mean? And my thing is,
people still trying to show you their high school championship rings and stuff,
bro.
And they this was me back in.
I was all city in this, bro. What are you doing now?
Right.
So I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, like trust me, it's cool. We having a convo. It's just that's what we run into. Right. So with Keep It 100, I honestly say all the time, my peoples back home didn't even believe I was running as much miles as I was running. Like, you ain't running 8 miles. You ain't running. It's like, yo, just say congratulations.
Right.
You're projecting onto me what you feel like you can do.
Exactly.
But no, I'm pushing past whatever the norm is. Because the norm to everybody, celebrating different baby showers or when this person came home. But what about this person who just starting something that none of us have ever seen before?
Exactly.
Let's celebrate that more. So that's why I always give Keep It 100 flowers, because you couldn't pay me to run a certain amount of miles a few years ago. Now I'm running 26.2 things. You get what I'm saying?
Sir.
Come on, man.
But the type to the mental health aspect of it, it does just Keep It 100 does a lot for people because it's community and people don't have community, especially people of color. We don't have community like that. I always say we get 60 plus people on average every Thursday night, and people of color, especially black folk, we don't get together in large numbers unless we're consuming alcohol.
Or food.
Right. So to get together and be supported and uplifted and motivated by people that look like you does something for a lot of people. You're able to get away. It's literally an hour 15 minutes out of your week. We run Thursday night. People think of it as like, 3 miles, it takes forever. Like, we're literally You can run, you can walk, skip, jump, backflip, whatever you got to do. Just come out here and pour into yourself. But, like, to be around that energy helps you in so many ways. You get away from, work, school, your kids, your spouse, But in that, too, like, people are bonding in ways with their people in their own home. Like, husbands and wives are coming out together, and they probably didn't connect like that until, they were able to do something like this together. Mothers and the kids are, and my mom's out there every week. And I try to push for us, like people our age, to bring our elders out, because you can see your mom every day or talk to her or whatever, but like, it could be like in passing, like, okay, mom, I say, hey, happy, hey, how you doing? I'll catch you later or whatever. But then like this space where you guys are walking together, you're having different type of conversations and building with each other,
right?
So. Like all this helps. Like I always say, like with some men, I put some men and some people just in leadership positions where they may not be in that position at home. So if you get to come out and be able to kind of tell people where to go, like that does something for people.
Yeah,
right.
So, it thank you for everybody that comes out.
Right.
I appreciate y'all. I'm glad it's helping so many people. Last week, at the anniversary, the young lady stepped up and said she found us in the darkest place of her life. She was contemplating suicide, whatever, but this helps her so much. And like, I don't do this for money, like, but those stories are what fulfills me and why I'm happy.
That's what motivates you. Yeah. And I think people have a misconception about when it comes to therapy and mental health. Your physical health is connected to your mental health.
Most definitely.
And I always tell my clients, like, okay, are you active? Are you going outside when you're at home? Do you exercise at all? Because you need to start doing that. You need to take care of your physical body in order to feel good mentally as well. Because sometimes when people are depressed, they just stay inside. They don't go outside. They don't exercise. They overeat, and it's like these are connected. So I get how somebody who's going through depression is able to get out of it, because yes, that it's an adrenaline rush. It's a lot of endorphins that's coming when you're running. Sure. So they're able to work through those things. So yeah, it comes in many different ways. You don't have to just go to therapy. And also, you shouldn't just be going to therapy. Right. You should be running. You should be exercising. You should be taking care of yourself, doing self-care. It's not just, let's sit for an hour and talk every week and you think all your problems about to be solved.
Exactly.
It's just, it don't work like that. But I wanted to ask you guys about the marathon.
Okay.
Because I'm thinking, like, as you guys are talking, so is running like more of a mental thing?
Yes.
Or is it?
It's 90% mental.
Okay. So tell me what that was like for both of you guys in the most recent marathon. It was the LA marathon, right?
Yes.
That you guys ran last month?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
So mine is pretty brief. It's I didn't train as much as I could have trained because I had everything going on with the play and just life. But in 2020, before the pandemic really popped off, I was part of the cheer section. And that's where we go as a group to cheer on. Everybody's running it. And as I was cheering people on, I saw elders doing the marathon, little kids, people doing cartwheels. I'm like, man, I could think the competitor in me came out. Like, I'm going to run. Yeah, I'm going to run the next one. So once I found that I actually had the time, I did it. I was like, all right, cool. But it was mental because at first I wanted to sprint, like just naturally, like just sprint, because I'm like, nah, like this person's running faster than me. Then I had to remind myself to run my own race, because once you try to go at the pace of someone else, you can burn out faster or different things. So I had to mentally tell myself, bro, it doesn't matter if this person is sprinting, if this person is walking, run, march to the beat of your own drum. I don't even think I listen to music like that. Because sometimes when you listen to the music, you run to the beat of the song. You might run faster or slower. I more so ran to my body, and that's what got me through it. And like he said, around mile 20, regardless to whatever, your body is still like, you got 6.2 left. So at that point, it's just more so you telling yourself you're going to make it across the finish line. So that was my first experience. I was extremely proud of myself and became a part of a small percentage of people who mentally got themselves across the finish line. Physically, yeah, cool, but mentally, you got to get yourself over there too.
Yep. It's definitely mental, because it's so easy to say, to quit or just go home and just not even do it. But like he said, when he got to 20 and had to talk to himself, like my first one, I've done 9 now. So like my first one, I went through the same thing. And I'm like, I had to find a mental way to psych myself out to get across that line. I'm like, well, if I'm at 20, 6 more left, I'm gonna do 3 twice. You know, or like just I know how fast I could do 3, so it's just like you got to break it down to make it make sense for you, because you're all, like you're in your head. And I tell people, the physical, like, it's gonna hurt, but the pain goes away. You know, so like,
yeah, that's true.
Whether you run 1 or you run 100, it's gonna hurt. So just continue, like, to stay strong mentally, because in anything, when you kind of get out of it, you know, if you get out, not get out of your head, but like if your head kind of like messes with you, your first thing you're gonna do is leave and walk out the door.
Go back to what makes you comfortable.
Go back to your comfort zone. So continue, like it's that's what I was saying. Like, mentally, people can't fuck with me. So
right.
You know why they can't? Because they're so afraid of that discomfort.
Exactly.
Right.
Most things that people accomplish, they don't realize came from the unfamiliarity of what they probably were used to. You didn't grow up saying, "Oh my God, I'm gonna be running marathons." It kind of found you, and you was like, I think it's something about that unfamiliarity / the growth that you feel from it too. It's like, I'm not used to this, but I'm noticing how much value is given to me. So let me just lean into this, because the more value you gave to yourself is now a reflection of the value that you've given to hundreds of people from all these different events, from Keep It 100, giving back to the community, to going to different parks that people said I would never do anything at that park to. Oh, we can get into it.
Right. And I like how just the mental part, it's like you're pushing yourself. You're pushing yourself past that, you know, comfortability. And I deal with that a lot when it comes to my clients, because they're stuck in this way of thinking.
Yes.
Negative way, doubting themselves, saying that they're not going to do good. And I try to, like, you know, work with them on the mental side. Like, okay, well, what if this happens? Do you think about this possibility? Let's try to, you know, and I say, I know it's going to be uncomfortable, but think about what's on the other side of that.
Right.
And it's the same thing with the running. Like, yeah, it's uncomfortable. You feel tired. Your legs, you want to give up. But on the other side of that is that sense of accomplishment. That's why he's saying, can't nobody mess with him mentally, because he knows, like, he's going to push himself. So that could be applied to all aspects, you know, all aspects of life. But I think it's so important that you're providing this in the Black community, because, like, where do Black people go to work on their physical health? Like, as a community, like, we don't really have that. And I wish that, you know, Black people would take their health a little bit more seriously, because, I mean, most of, what is it, like the highest, I think it's heart disease or something.
In the Black community.
In the Black community is like the number one cause of death. Right. And it's like, that's preventable if you take care of your body.
Exactly. Like I say it all the time, because we combat so many just different things: heart disease, high blood pressure, COVID, et cetera, et cetera. But a healthier lifestyle helps with that. You know, like, people don't. I try to get people to wrap their minds around it, but, like, I always use the example of, like, your body being your car. If you take care of your car, it's gonna run. Like, of course, it's gonna eventually run its course, but then, like, if you leave a car sitting too, which is you not working out, it's gonna break down as well.
Right.
Them oil's gonna get flat.
Right. So you gotta get your oil changes, get your tune-ups, which is working out, eating healthy, et cetera, et cetera. But the biggest thing is, you know, eating healthy and working, like, paying for those things costs way less than hospital bills. So
yeah,
you know,
that's right.
I just try to make it make sense, because we've known people that just randomly pass or get sick just from, you know what I'm saying? Like, you wake up, you get the call, like, such and such is in the hospital, and we don't know how they got here, you know, but that person wasn't taking care of themselves.
Right.
You know, so I always share the story about my mom. I had a talk with my mom 2020. You know, she told her my mom, she worked out, she was healthy, but, you know, diet could be a little tricky. Told her, you know, she had 2 grandkids. I want her to be able to see them play and grow and whatever. And in 2021, she took it serious. My mom changed her diet. She's walking every week. I'm talking about walking half marathons, 13 miles, like, just getting out and walking. My mom lost 40 pounds in like 8 months.
Wow.
And, like, to see her transition, and, like, now she feels so much better like, my mom, she's doing different things. She's traveling more. She got an Instagram. She thinks she popped. Like, She thinks
doing it all,
but like all like doing things like she changed her life. She feels better internally. She looks better externally, and it's only up from here. You know, so I try to share that story to get people to kind of see it, understand it, or feel it a little differently because people tend to just kind of like be content in where they are.
Right.
They just exist, and you were able to help your mom reestablish her why.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that's a lot of people just moving aimless.
Right.
They just exist, and they don't know how going to the club every week, but not having the fitness to balance it. What's that really doing to them inside?
The ladies out there who
go talk about it.
Go ahead.
The ladies who who may be slightly out of shape, but kind of feel like somebody gonna holler at me anyway. Like those are the ones that get to me.
Speak your truth.
Because they like I see it, sis. It don't sit the way it's supposed to sit. But do what you do. You
know what? No, because you know what it is. Like I said, a lot of people are used to operating how they were operating in their early 20s, and they think they still got that early 20 metabolism.
Right.
That early 20. It's like, yo, your body is like, look, you ain't running track no more.
I can eat salads for 2 weeks and work out. Like, nah, it's not. It
it's
has
more
to be
than
consistent.
That.
You have
right.
to stay consistent. It's a lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? So people just got to be willing to tap into it.
Right. And I like how you talked about your mom and figuring out her why to become healthier. Do you think that the birth of your daughter kind of inspired you to, become healthier and take life a little more seriously?
Oh, for sure. What
was Butta?
Oh my God, we don't even want to go in the pre-Ashton days.
I want to know.
Nah, man. I was content, and I was content with life. I did cool shit. I hung out. People rocked with me. Women liked me. If something happened, I would have died happy. Whatever. But like Ashton gave me a reason to turn it up. Like I've never been more driven or more focused in my life. Like that's my why. Like I have to get up. I gotta get shit done. Like I always tell people, like I have to find a medium between recklessness and responsibility. Before my daughter was born, like I gamble. I was always at the dice games, whatever. Like if I blew the money, I'm gonna figure it out.
Right.
I can't live, but I'm gonna figure it out now
right.
because she likes different things. She want to go to boiling crab every week, So I gotta make sure I got those funds in the stash, But no, like she just my mentality just changed and it continues to change as I get older, and what I'm saying, she continues to grow. And like life now is about energy and what I keep around me, because what I keep around me affects her.
Right.
And it affects me as well, but like she is who I have to protect at all costs.
Right.
So,
exactly.
And I always talk about keep it, me and Beanz talk about just the people you have around you, like they can I just said they affect the way certain things happen in your life. But that's what the people, what you follow on Instagram, what you watch on TV, the things that you consume play such a big part in your life, and you don't even understand it. If I'm coming to you like, man, did you see what Beanz posted? That's some bullshit, whatever. But I keep coming, like it's bothering me, but I'm just like trying to tell it to you when I can just simply unfollow it.
Right.
But people are so scared to push that button because you the homie, or they hold on to relationships that they've known that you've been my best friend for 20 years, but like I got to keep coming to rescue you from the jail,
or even to take it a step further, they've normalized that trauma.
Right.
They're so used to that trauma because they've been around it their whole lives.
Right.
Oh, this person doing that, all right, cool, I'm used to that. This person doing that, all right, cool, I'm used to that. They're not used to the Thursday, pull up to a run club.
Right.
This might actually feel good to you. No, like I would rather just gossip and talk about somebody else. Right. They've made that their norm, and people need to recreate a new normal for themselves that actually pours into them.
So, circling back to just being a dad, like Ashley, keep it 100, drive my train, and if you're not with that or supportive of that, that's cool. But like the train gonna keep pushing with or without you,
right?
But I'm not going back for nobody. Like anybody can go,
right?
family, friends, whoever it is.
I feel you.
Okay, because you're not good for me. You know?
Right.
It's no hard feelings, but like I gotta keep going. Ashton gotta win. She gonna see me win. Like she be like, Daddy, like you're not cool. I'm gonna wait till she 10. I'm gonna drop this highlight tape on her. but no, that's what I'm on, man. Like the energy. Like I just want positive people around me. Like I don't have bad days. I'm always in a good mood because I control what I consume. Mm-hmm. You know, like certain things happen. And people like yesterday I had a tire issue. I could let that bother me and take it in the rest of my day. But I'm thinking, well, luckily I have the money to get it fixed.
Right?
You just have to just channel your brain differently. You know, because
change your mindset. Yeah. I wanted to ask you guys both a question because I don't want to offend anybody, but I feel like it's a lot of young men out here that haven't found their purpose or don't really know what they're doing in life. And do you feel like it takes something as serious as having a child or something to that magnitude to change your life? Because I see that trend a lot. Like sometimes guys with kids are they got it a little more together because they recognize that it's something serious and they need to be on their shit basically. So I'm gonna ask both of you guys because you have a kid but you don't have a kid and you have your stuff together. So I'm like, what is it like? Why some of these dudes just don't really it's not clicking.
Yeah, you go for
clicking. So with him not having a kid, me having a kid, like the kid doesn't really it plays a part, but it's not the end all be all, right?
It's not the determining factor.
Because these niggas got kids too.
Right. Exactly. I'm big on just like a lot of men, my homies, whatever. If you're listening, I don't care. A lot of men don't know who they are. So
it's getting spooky. It's getting spooky.
So because they don't know who they are. They don't know what their strengths are. They don't know what they're good at. You know what I'm saying? Like. So when you know that, you're able to play into that, and it makes sense for everything that surrounds you. You know, like I know what I'm good at, and I'm not trying to be anybody else. You know, people see, Beanz writing plays, and I'm gonna do that. That's not for you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
You can't bowl a 300 in another person's lane. Okay?
Right.
So you got the bars.
Okay, that's a clip right there. So
that's a bar. Yeah, like I always say, men just don't know themselves. And there's no knock on the men. Women don't know themselves either. Okay, let me put that out there. But like, it's just like when you're strong and you're confident in who you are, like it helps so much more. Mm-hmm. So.
No, yeah, I echo those same sentiments. I have a lot of friends and peers when I was telling them that I was leaving Jersey, like this is what I'm leaving to do, and everybody was looking at me like I had 12 heads. Like what? But it's that belief that you have within yourself. You see the vision. I think a lot of people just. Like I said, they're so cool and content in the familiarity of what they're used to, right. As opposed to what do I actually want to do within my life, and what excuses they haven't taken the time to be self-aware or self-reflective to really identify, like Butta said, strengths, different things like that, or even importantly, distractions. They don't even know the distractions that's around them. Like they don't know that. Dang, I keep noticing that I'm ended up with these same type of chicks, but whatever, I'm gonna just keep complaining about it and keep circling the block. Mm-hmm. Or I keep ending up at these jobs that I don't like. They pay the bills, but whatever, like why am I always mad and I'm only looking forward to the weekends? So with me, even though I don't have a kid, I was tired of only looking forward to the weekends. I was like, I should feel joy in every day, in every moment.
Every single day.
Every single moment, enjoy. And I think I led with that priority. And I was like, by any means, this is going to happen. But I tell you, when I first started going to Keep It 100, I was catching a bus to run 2 miles. I was catching 2 buses to Culver City to run 2 miles.
Bro don't live close. Okay.
Exactly. And he know.
Bro don't live close. Okay.
2 buses to run 2 miles, but it was that community aspect, that growth aspect. I'm like, this is what I want to be a part of. And I don't care what it looks like. I'm going to get there. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people don't even get to that step. I'm going to get there whatever it looks like. They're cool with just saying like, though I don't like this, I'll stay in this. And that's a certain. If you don't have that headspace, you'll figure it out. Right. You'll figure it out.
Okay. Well, I got another question. This is a little unrelated. This is for me. I need y'all advice, right? I seem to find myself.
Unfollow him. Don't text him back. Don't text him back.
Oh man.
Say that. Go ahead.
Delete the number. Okay.
But I find myself like seeing potential in guys and keep like getting with not the same guy, but the guy that hasn't reached his full potential, and I'm trying to be the motivator, and and I get exhausted, and I'm like, you don't even want this for yourself at this point. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, how do I get out of that cycle? Help me out, y'all. Keep it real with me.
So when it comes to what I feel like when it comes to potential, because I've been in that space, I feel like certain chicks probably wanted to deal with me because of my potential, even when I was just trying to figure it out. But if you don't have, you got to just lean into what makes sense to you. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of people try to fill in a blank, and that blank can usually just be a dude who might have a nice smile, or you create your own reality for this dude as opposed to what he actually wants to do. And you end up letting yourself down because you gave this dude expectations that he didn't even sign up for. So you kind of like letting yourself down. It all circles back to accountability. I had conversations where I'm like, did I say that, or is that what you convinced yourself to believe?
Right, you created this whole thing in your head.
Like that's what happens, and I feel like I'm not trying to come at women, but since we here,
no, I want to know.
It's everybody. Like, let's just say in dealings, everybody wants transparency.
Right.
Shout out to transparency to play. Okay. But no, everybody wants transparency until they get it.
Right.
You know, like I could come to you, and we could meet, and I can tell you I'm dating 2 or 3 girls or whatever, and you'd be like, I'm cool with that.
I'm cool with that. I can change them.
Until it's playing itself out, and you'd be like, what's going on? I told you what I was doing, but like now you're just not cool with it. So like, but like the dating game is just very skewed. Like it's my views on it are a little different. I feel like some people may kill me for this, but I feel like the roles are reversed. I feel like a lot of men want to be taken care of.
No, talk about it, because yes. Like, go on.
A lot of men want to be taken care of, or like she got a good job, or she drive a nice car, or she got this. So like I'm gonna lay up in her shit.
Right.
But then on the flip side, a lot of women are very independent. And
right. A lot more independent. I don't even know if I could say a lot more independent than before, but I feel like it's more. It's more.
I don't need a man.
You see it a lot more now. Now they're like making more than they've ever made before. I really don't need.
Don't need him. But then, like when you get one, you don't really give him the opportunity to be a man because maybe he makes less than you, or like so. Like submission can be tricky, and it's just like then when people get involved with each other, like people tend to. And these are just my views. Kill me if you want to, but I feel like people want something from the other person, like he drives this, so like I'm gonna get in this car or whatever. Or instead of I come with my own, I don't want nothing from you, and I want to be able to just we build together and build whatever it is we're doing over here instead of coming and try to take your stuff.
Right, like you got that,
latch on to them.
Exactly, you know what I'm saying, but. I don't want shit from you, but like a lot of people go into situations like, well, shit. She look at him like, damn, he drive this. Like, let me.
He drive this. Or he got a kid. I got a kid. Maybe we can, or it get calling a spade a spade. I mean, guys and girls.
Right, because guys be doing it too. She got all this. She got her stuff together. She black excellence. But let me ruin her life.
And then people are tapping into.
Let me ruin that.
People are tapping into like what the other person is doing. Really, like I'm big on like let's meet at our passions. If you do something, if you cook, let's say you were a caterer, if you need me to go get the pans or like cut some shit for you, like that's me learning who you are and what you got going on.
Right.
But like with me and running, like I've dated women who be like, I'm never going to run. Cool. I know where you stand. We not. Like, you don't have to run with me, but like I will want you to.
At least try.
No, like do some kind of physical activity or just want better for yourself in that type of space.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But like I'm not finna just sit around with somebody who just don't want better for themselves.
You know, you answer. Well, we both answered the question, but what you just communicated, you know yourself to the point where you can communicate your standards, your negotiables and non-negotiables. Right. And this is what I'm cool with. This is not what I'm cool with. So a lot of times when people go into situations, they don't really know what they want. Right. They just feel like they want somebody to be next to them. Right. And then y'all just end up like clashing heads because if y'all not able to express passions, to express like, oh, where exactly do you see your life even if I wasn't here? Right. If y'all not able to get there, that's why it's just headache on top of headache.
Right. I think the key thing that I learned from this is like stating what it is that you need and not settling. Right. And also what Butta was saying about like if you're not even trying to better yourself, like I can't be around that because that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to better myself every day, whether that's through working out, whether that's through putting time into my business, my organization. Like I have to better myself. So if you're not about that, then we can't kick it. We can't kick it.
It's what I spoke about already. Energy. Like,
right.
If you're around somebody who don't want to be better who don't want better for themselves, why would you stick around that? Like,
right. And expressing it and staying firm with that. Because like I said, it's staying firm with that because if a dude or whoever tell you what it is, that's what it is. Right. People be trying to throw flowers. Oh no, I can change that. Oh, she said that. I know she might have other dudes, but nah, they not me though. And then you realize like you hurt or women like, oh, I can probably he might be messing with, but they ain't got going on what I got going on. And then you realize no, he still texting multiple people, and maybe you might not be the one in accepting that.
Right.
How do you respond to rejection?
But then on the flip side, like we're talking about guys, people who don't want better for themselves. But let's talk about people who do have good things going on for themselves. There's some space where like people have to be understanding of that too. Like people get into situations and it's like, oh, like you don't make time for me. Like everything is an adjustment. We just got here.
Right.
Right.
Like, adjustment and compromise.
My life was going a certain way before you got here.
Right.
Don't come in here like demanding all this time. Like it takes a while to shift. And I like I always have the conversation of like my daughter comes first, keep her 100, whatever. But then like some women may feel like, oh, well, I need to be first. And I'm like, the order, I'm not the guy to be like, that order can't change. Like, once I'm building and growing with somebody, my daughter will have to take a back seat because our relationship can't mature if I'm always going to run and rescue her because she could be doing some bullshit. So if it's hindering the space that I'm in with me and my lady and trying to grow there, then like, because the relationship with man and woman, that's unconditional. The relationship with your child is conditional because they're going to get up and leave eventually. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but I'm just speaking on understanding. Let's just say, okay, I'm going to use myself. Like, if I'm telling you I'm running or I'm training, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, like, I can't. It's just like I always relate it to like a man who says he's in the studio rapping or whatever, but you don't see.
You don't see no mix.
You don't see no mixtapes. You don't see no. I'm putting out hits. Okay, so okay,
and you hear it on the radio.
You hear my shit. So it's like you have to kind of think about it and be like, damn, he really is working and blah 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 blah. And then that should want you to kind of get up and want better and do better for yourself.
If this is the type of person
that you want to be with, yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, we done got off on a tangent. That wasn't even a part of the interview, but you know.
But it's all connected to mental health because it's a reflection of how you feel about yourself, certain standards, and different things like that. And honestly, physically tapping in with yourself, it unlocks other parts of yourself to become more ambitious. If I could run a marathon, you telling me I can't start a business? Right. If I can push myself in ways that I couldn't push before, you telling me I can't have that conversation with my parents that I've never had before? Like, that's what I'm telling you. Like, Keep It 100 running, period, has definitely helped me. I think I said it last week. It taught me how to walk. It helped me to walk. Run Club helped me to walk because I was moving extremely fast before, and I learned to just breathe a little better, march to the beat of my own drum. But now, especially after running a marathon, you really can't tell me shit.
Right.
Like, I know who
you know who you are, bro.
This is what it is. And you can't negotiate that. The price is the price. Cool. like that type of energy. Like, for real. So we talking about the same thing. Mental health, physically being active, helping it being a reflection of how you feel about yourself so you could figure out how you want to show up in the world.
It's being the best version of yourself. You know, like all that ties into that. So
yeah. So I wanted to talk about the foundation that you were talking about earlier before we started recording, because I love seeing Black fathers with their kids. Like, I know people say like, oh, that's what you're supposed to do, but like, it's still very nice to see. Like, so I know you said you were with your daughter this week on her spring break, and it's like, you really tried to make that experience like great for her. And I just love seeing that. So talk a little bit about your foundation.
So in 2017, I started an organization called RockWROK, WROK, stands for Re-Raise Our Kids. So me and my boy Mike, we started this just to show that there are positive fathers in the Black community. You know, we're doing father-daughter dances, father-son brunches, picnics on Father's Day, and things like that. Just because we're dope fathers, we know dope fathers, but we don't get highlighted like that.
Right.
So,
right.
You know, being with my kid is a form of like therapy. You know, like she makes me a better person. Like if I'm you know, like if I'm going through something, like being with her, it puts me in, that's my happiest space. And I just, you know, but to get back to the organization, like I just want dads to, if you don't pick up your kid like that, you aren't with your kid, I want you to see that this is cool. Like having your kid is cool as shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
right.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
And I understand some situations aren't the best with the mom or whatever, but like that shouldn't, you know, like I don't know what people have going on, but like
there's some tricky situations out there.
Right, but the child shouldn't suffer because of y'all issues and problems.
But like being in my kids' life, especially being the father of a little girl, like that's important. You know, like I've seen damaged women. So all I want to do, I want to lead, set a good example for her, show her how she should be treated and like how, you know, she should be taken care of out here and how she should, you know, carry herself and blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, like, Rock, we're coming back. We just, running took off a little bit. So, like, I'm a circle back to that. It's not going anywhere. Like, I love being a dad. I want everybody to, like, I love talking to people who are about to become dads, because I believe I have a lot of advice and gems for them. So, Beanz, when it's that time, come holler at me.
Yeah.
Baby Beanz, will you?
That's so beautiful because, I mean, obviously people realize like how much the father in the home, you know, impacts. But I work with kids and I see it all the time, like people not having their fathers around and just how much issues, and whether that's emotional, whether that's whatever, like how many issues come up because they don't have that consistent father figure in their lives. And it's just so important. Like, you guys deserve to be highlighted. You know, like, don't just say, oh, that's what you're supposed to do. Like, no, these people are going above and beyond. Because
it's the same. I'm sorry, I mean,
no, go ahead.
I think it's the same when it comes to not knocking Mother's Day or anything, but you can just see how Mother's Day is celebrated and shown everywhere.
Right.
And Father's Day is kind of like, all right, it's like a weekend.
Hey, look, I got an announcement to make.
Talk about it.
This year, June 19th, I'm putting together a Father's Day run. So this is my first time sharing that with people. So if you're listening to this, you know, all the fathers out there, I'm collabing with a group from St. Louis called Dear Fathers. Okay. Really, really amazing guys. They're a nonprofit organization. We're working on it right now. This year, like, I guess from here on out, Father's Day may, quote unquote, like, literally take a back seat to Juneteenth week, you know, because it's the biggest weekend for Black people, okay?
Right.
But we're still going to highlight the dads. We're going to, you know, tie everything in together. And because I'm like, like being a dad is great. So, dads, I'm going to highlight y'all. Father's Day run. This is your first time hearing it. Stay tuned. Shout out Dear Fathers. That's all I got.
Right. Let's give these dads their flowers. Okay? They deserve to be highlighted. We need to make Father's Day like Mother's Day. Let's put some emphasis on that. Sure. Let's do that. Let's make it a big celebration because it's really important. And we all know, like, history, you know, how they tried to take the Black man out of the home and everything like that. So let's celebrate this.
Can we get some Father's Day baskets on the corner?
Yo, Father's Day talk.
Right. Can we get some Father's Day brunches at these restaurants?
Right.
Come on, man.
Let's normalize this. Let's celebrate this. Let's highlight this. Did you have anything else that you wanted to share today? Anything you have coming up? I know we just got an exclusive. Like, we just getting exclusive here. But anything else?
Is anything, even if it's not exclusive, anything you want to say to a specific group of people or whatever?
What I have. Listen, take care of yourself, love yourself. If you're pursuing something, give it find something you love and give it everything you have. We're in a world where everybody wants to become an entrepreneur or whatever. It's like, if you have a dream, give it a shot. People tend to, we talk about getting in your head. I quit a great job to run full time. People thought I was crazy. I haven't worked in over 3 years now. And I'm not saying that to brag or anything, but I found what I love to do. I still could have been there. Going to work, not liking it, mentally messing with me.
Yeah,
right.
Messing with my energy, taking bad, and you could go to a place that drains you, and you're not able to give the energy to the people who really deserve it.
Right.
So, no, man, we got a lot of things coming up. I'm big on I can show you better than I can tell you. I'm not like, I got this. Boom, 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 boom.
Where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram. Okay, tap in with me. Instagram, Barack, like the president. BARACK _OBUTTA. Barack _Obutta on Instagram. I'm gonna repeat that again. Barack _Obutta. Tap it with me. That's my personal page. At Keep It Run 100 is my run page. That's a lot of dope things coming up. Mother's Day is coming up. We're gonna take care of the ladies. We're gonna do something nice for them. Got some Juneteenth stuff cracking. My birthday's in a couple months, so stay tuned for that, because that's the thing in LA. So if you haven't been in my birthday parties,
that's the event of the year
for sure. I'm gonna tell you. I tell this to every interview I have. Nobody throws a better party than me. If you're watching this right now, if you want to challenge me, step up. Let's do it.
It's like the unofficial mayor of LA right here.
It's official.
It's unofficial.
It's official.
It's official. Well, thank you for coming on today. Beanz, you got anything?
No, I just want to say, Butta, thanks for coming out here. You feel me? I have a lot of friends, unfortunately, who say being a father is a thankless job because they say they do so much and rarely get flowers for it. So we're going to work on that. We appreciate you for stepping up as a father, doing everything
you
that you need to do.
Right now.
Give you your flowers, you get what I'm saying,
yes.
bro? And just keep being the best version of yourself. And we to the moon with it. This is What's Good With You podcast, where we focus on not only mental health, but how you can get closer to yourself.
Sure. Thank y'all for having me. This was great. This is going to be an amazing podcast going forward. There's so many great things ahead of you guys. If y'all need anything from me, don't be afraid to reach out.
Thank you. Yeah, I definitely will be in contact.
For sure.
But it's been another episode of What's Good With You. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok. Subscribe to our YouTube page. This is going to be on YouTube, and we're going to put in the description where you could find stuff about Butta over here, and Keep It 100. And this has been another episode. We'll see y'all later.